Hey everybody, it is Ben Moore here with Bradley Ellis and Michael Huber. We went to BlizzCon, we checked out some games. This has been a controversial BlizzCon to say the least, but I want to get started on a high note, and I think the number one high note for us, universally, the Easy Allies high note of BlizzCon 2018, is Warcraft III Reforged.
Yes.
Something we've gone on record wanting for, I don't know, how long? I think since the EG days. A long time.
Yeah.
We all got to play it. Let's talk about that. Let's start with Warcraft 3.
Good vibes.
Tell me about the vibes.
Fantasyland at Disneyland vibes is what I got. The art style.
So the mission we got to play is, not that I'm disagreeing with you, but it's like the culling of Stratholme.
It was like the most depressing.
Not Disneyland vibes.
You're like
Just talking about the visuals.
killing innocent people.
Just purely talking about the visuals.
It's a cleansing.
Yeah. So the visuals are a good thing to bring up. How did it look for you?
I love the way it looked. I love the way it felt, because anytime you can capture the feeling and the vibe of the original game while also making it look new and fresh, finding that balance is incredible.
So I watched the panel on this game, and I think they said they took inspiration from the Mists of Pandaria cinematic, the way the Horde and Alliance look in that. So they kind of worked off that. I think they said they had it more cartoony looking originally, but it was kind of falling into everyone else, they said. So they tried to do something else to stand apart. Nice. So that's what we saw. Nothing is done, though. They stressed that a lot. Things will change definitely on the way they look and move and all that.
You could definitely tell it is not done.
Correct.
I think some of the animations and just visually some of the cutscenes still looked a little rough, but not done.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. I want to say, for me personally, the new look benefited Mal'Ganis the most.
He looked
I loved
the
the way that he looked. I love the original Warcraft 3 style. I mean, it is a game that made me a Blizzard fan for life, I feel like. But yeah, just seeing him be in this new style, be more realistic, be more menacing, as you're kind of racing to kill more people than he's killing.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to talk about, just how in this one mission that we got to play, which is obviously a huge pivotal mission, how well the design of Warcraft 3 holds up.
Oh, it holds up. Just the I forgot, we were briefly talking about it before, just the resources. I love the gold mines and chopping the trees down, and you see the trees, become less and less and less, and building the lumber mills next to there. Just the way all the upgrades work, upgrading different buildings, and obviously most importantly the hero unit, and using the hero unit and picking up items and leveling up. Yeah. I love that little game within the bigger game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, creeping early game to level up and stuff. Yeah.
And just what a fun, creative mission it is, where you're breaking down these houses with your paladin and hammer and your foot soldiers and your riflemen, and then you have to kill the people quickly, otherwise they'll transform into zombies. And then you're like, well, should I fight off Mal'Ganis? And you get rewarded for doing that, because then he gets put on a resurrection timer. And it just feels like there's so much going on, and all of it feels tense and exciting, which is exactly what the story is presenting.
Yeah, and they're attacking your base at the same time,
right?
too.
They're coming with the base.
So there's 3 different kind of things you're keeping track of.
And just the hero management itself is such a joy, and it's so easy to do. I mean, just using your holy light to heal your units, keeping them in the battle, protecting them with that armor aura. It's really, really good. And you could say this, I think, about a lot of Blizzard games, but I think I was introduced to in Warcraft 3 and really fell in love with in Warcraft 3 is just, and I'm sure some of this is nostalgia, but the sounds, just the way the blade sound and the hammer sounds when it's hitting, the peasants going, more work, there's just so much life in this game that is, what is it? How old is Warcraft 3? 2001?
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah, I think
2 or 4. World of Warcraft was 2004, right?
World of Warcraft was 2004.
So 2001 or 2?
Yeah. I think right around there.
So good.
I'm really stoked that it's going to be on the Blizzard launcher now, too.
Yeah, I saw it there. I booted it up, and I was like,
Because if you had to play it before, you had to bust out the discs and all that kind of stuff, dude. It's going to be nice and streamlined.
I hate to ask for too much, but I'm hoping for a little, the StarCraft remaster was pretty bare bones, but it did the job of just kind of up-resing it and making it easily accessible on modern computers. I would love if they did that with Warcraft 1 or 2. I have no idea how much that costs or how much work that is.
Right.
But, Warcraft 3 is now a 2019 release. I would love it if we got some Warcraft 1 and 2 love as well. But
just trying to get
knows?
the entirety of Warcraft
That'd be
in
great,
the Battle.net
On
or
Battle.net.
the entirety of the video games of Warcraft in the Battle.net
and not a reforged remake, just like they did with Brood War, just a little up-res
port.
action. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that we're all pretty thrilled and encouraged so far with Warcraft III Reforged.
Yeah, very happy.
Before we move on, do you think that Warcraft 3 will be as enjoyable for people who never got to experience it, aren't really RTS people, but maybe like came in to Warcraft later down the line?
I was going to say, I think it's going to be really cool for people who have played WoW, just came into WoW at a point, and they get to see where all the storylines they've been following where it originally started. I know it started starting the previous ones, but Warcraft 3 was really like the thing that kicked off World of Warcraft, especially if they have like all the Arthas stuff, which I think they said they're going to, the Frozen Throne DLC, which is all super important. Really cool context if you want to go back and see how everything started.
Definitely. And you were talking about the culling and how good that design was.
Yeah.
That just reaffirms the fact that even new players jumping in will for sure have a good time.
Yeah. And man, just thinking about the scope of that campaign, you're not just playing as the humans, you're playing as the humans, the undead, the orcs, the night elves.
Yeah. And some more credit to Warcraft 3. I think it is less intimidating, far less intimidating than StarCraft because of the speed.
Yeah.
It's just a little slower, a little more manageable.
I don't feel like you have to manage or micromanage quite as much.
Exactly.
So, I do agree that I think the barrier is lower.
Good for non-RTS professionals
Yeah,
like
sure.
myself.
Like myself. Yeah.
I would say it's like the first RTS I actually like dived into.
Yeah.
It was a good place to start for me.
Cool. Good point that you brought up, Huber. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Diablo Immortal, which the online retribution has been swift and harsh. And the more that I think about it, like I'm not on board with like publicly harassing individuals.
Dude.
That's not cool. Obviously, I think people should be able to say what they like or don't like about the game. For sure. I think that's totally cool. And people have. And I get it. And just seeing reports that maybe there could have been some other announcement, I think would have made this whole pill a lot easier to swallow.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, but beyond the reaction to Diablo Immortal, we actually got to play it. What were your first impressions?
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like, I'm just speaking from my like own video game passions and loves. That's what I try to do. And it's like, I never seek out to play a mobile game. But if I'm like at the bus stop or like waiting in line for something, like I'll bust out Diablo Immortal. I'll get my loot grind on the go.
Sure. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So I don't think it's like, I think a lot of the commotion was like, oh, they're doing this instead of Diablo 4. But they've come out and they've said, they've come out and said we're making Diablo 4 without saying we're making Diablo 4. So this kind of feels like a stopgap between.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it played pretty good. From when I played it, I was like, oh, Diablo on a phone, like, whatever. Like, I'm not, like, I like Diablo, but I'm not like a diehard fan or anything like that. It seemed to play well and everything like that. It seemed to kind of capture the spirit of it, kind of. But, like, I'm not a huge Diablo expert, but I thought it was fine. But, yeah, I totally understand why people are mad about this game.
And then they're talking about, that it's a reskin of another mobile game.
Yeah, I haven't seen that game. It's the other company.
It definitely has a similar UI layout, for sure.
What's the company that's developing
NetEase.
it? NetEase? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to echo both of your sentiments. I think it was fine is definitely in the camp that I'm in the sense that it definitely controlled better than I expected.
Definitely.
I was playing as the wizard, and I didn't have any problem attacking, moving around, or even using the spells to target. I was reading other impressions of people that were having difficulty. Didn't. It was very intuitive, and for that, I really want to give the game credit. But I'm worried that with Diablo Immortal, I'm going to kind of fall into the same trap that I've fallen in with other things, namely Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, where it's like, this is kind of similar to the thing that I love but is clearly like cleaved down
Right.
in such a way that like I know I'm not having as much fun.
Yeah.
And when you are mentally just constantly comparing those two experiences side by side, I think it can be a little bit of a barrier to overcome.
Sure, yeah.
Because I played Diablo Immortal, and you don't have any resource management. You're just there's no mana or anything.
Just
or,
cooldown. It
Right,
seems
it's just
like.
cooldown based, and so you just
Yeah.
tap the things when they're ready. And then I played a bunch of Diablo 3 on Switch over the weekend, and like. Obviously, I'm comparing a game that has been out for years to something they're just showing in its very early stages, so it's not quite fair. But in Diablo 3, it's like, I am getting new stuff all the time. You level up, here's 3 new skills, mess around with your pet, like, here's a ton of gear. It just felt like a lot. And if I'm playing Diablo Immortal and it feels super stripped down,
Yeah.
I think that's going to bother me a little bit.
I mean, I think that's just what it is, though. 'Cause
Right.
it's a mobile game, the nature of its design. Like, I'm with Huber. Like, I would play this if I'm just waiting something
Yeah.
like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and that's it.
It exists like mobile. The whole thing. I guess because I didn't make a big fuss about it because the whole thing in my own personal brain, I just remove it. You know, it's like, oh, mobile game, Diablo, whatever. I'll play that in like
Right.
when I'm in line for something. Move on. Like it does.
Sure.
It's not affecting really anything. Again, the big thing about like, oh, this instead of Diablo 4, and it's like, well, Diablo 4 is coming.
Well, yeah, I'm with both of you guys, and I don't think you can just be like, oh, this isn't Diablo 4 and be super mad about it. But I think where a lot of the anger is coming from, and when I talk about that comparison, I think we've just consistently seen other companies do it better.
Right.
Right? Where they will announce a mobile game and the next big thing, or they're a lot more transparent and consistent with communication. A lot of the anger that I saw around Diablo was like, man, you guys really didn't update Diablo 3 that much. Like
Yeah.
it felt like it took forever to get anything. And so I think that's where a lot of this understandable frustration is coming from, where it's like, come on guys, like you're one of the biggest boys in the business.
Totally.
You have millions of people that play your games and give you feedback. Like sometimes it just feels like you're stuck in the same old habits and not changing enough.
Like the Necromancer pack in Diablo 3 was a while ago.
2016, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 16.
Like
Or they announced it then or something.
Yeah, and it's or 17, but it's like throw out another character with this announcement, you know?
Right, exactly.
Like here's
I
Diablo on
think-
mobile, and here's also, you know, we just launched on Switch. What a great time to add a new character.
Right.
Like, yo, we're launching on Switch. Also, check out this new character class. Have a sick trailer.
Exactly.
All good.
And I think that's what I'm seeing, and I agree with you. It's like you could have done, like there were so many options that you could have done with this to make this whole pill easier to swallow, and
Yeah.
instead you did nothing.
Yeah.
And I think announcing as the last thing of the show
Absolutely.
was a bad call to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We'll
the
have to
fact that
wait
it's
and
not
see.
on PC. Like, I know it's a mobile game, but at least have a PC port or something.
Right.
Come on.
And it's not like it's completely unheard of for that to happen. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah. Like, Jetpack Joyride is on, like, consoles, like PS4.
Really?
This is a mobile game.
I haven't thought about Jet Red Joyride in years.
But it's like,
It's a
yeah,
cool game. That's
Yeah.
not a slight against the game. It's just a blast from the past.
Yeah.
That one.
just throw it on BattleNet.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Potentially greener pastures.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Ash in Overwatch. Who
Oh, right, yeah.
we played at the show, Brad. I actually went a little bit and messed around with her on the PTR
Oh, okay.
as well in training, just to get a feel. I like everything about Ash.
I think she's a really fun character.
Yeah.
I think I like her toolkit a lot. I love the dynamite especially.
Yep.
So you can throw this dynamite, it'll eventually explode on its own, or you could shoot it to blow it off immediately, and it has like burn damage on guys I saw, which is really cool. Love the shotgun, the sawed-off shotgun. You can use like as a rocket jump almost kind of thing like that, or a knockback from enemies. That's pretty much her toolkit. Great ultimate. Bob. Calls him Bob, who acts like a turret pretty much. He like rushes in, just stands and starts shooting everyone.
Dude,
Like,
some
The
guy...
initial Bob
Yeah.
charge,
Yeah.
when that
Charge
connects, it's
turret.
so satisfying.
Some guy put Bob in the corner, and he was in the corner behind a door,
Yeah.
and everyone kept coming in, and Bob was hiding in the corner, just like mowing everyone down.
Yeah.
The fact that you could charge him up with Anna too is really good.
I really appreciate the fact of when you're aiming down the sights of the rifle, so it's a bit slower your fire speed, but
Yeah.
if you are not doing that, you're like hip firing it, you could shoot way faster.
Yep.
Just a cool little
Slower rate
design
of fire,
touch.
higher
Yeah.
damage. Yep. Really, really good. And I thought the reunion trailer with McCree, that was
Yeah,
actually...
it was great. It was really cool.
We've seen so many Overwatch cinematics over the last couple of years, but that one definitely stood out as a highlight to me. I thought it was really good.
The apple pie in it, Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the highly
rendered
highly
pie.
detailed
Delicious.
apple pie. There's a question that I want to ask you guys. So I like Ash. I think she's a good addition. I think she just blends in so well with the rest of the cast. I'm interested to see where her story develops and further interactions with her and McCree. But I feel like Overwatch has kind of hit this stride, and it's a good stride, and it's working out. And obviously, this year they put a ton of work into the Overwatch League. But do you think we're in need of more of a shakeup with Overwatch, or are things good?
I mean, for like, if I was gonna dedicate time to a multiplayer game, I probably would do that game. I think it's. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the meta or what the community thinks about it, but I like the game. I think it just depends what they want. Like, the obvious, they want to make a ton of money answer is doing a battle royale down the line. I don't know if the game needs that yet or something like that, but I could see something crazy I like to happen. I know people always want more campaign kind of stuff. They want something like that, little story adventure. Like, that would be really cool. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Just a new way to engage with the game, is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking of like a Left 4 Dead style mode or something.
They
where
kind of do that for like the holidays.
Halloween, yeah, but like
Kind of.
expand that or something, and just new ways to play rather than hop in, session based matches, kill your enemy.
So you think there does need to be some sort of mix-up?
Just for me.
Just for you personally.
Again, I've been out of the loop on Overwatch for at least over a year. I don't know how the community is. I feel like the updates are strong though. Like, characters and maps and cinematics and lore seem to be kind of coming out at a steady clip, and that's good.
I feel like I kind of have this catch-22 with Overwatch, Huber, where I will kind of get in this mindset of like, man, like this is cool, but I think we need some sort of big update or expansion or whatever just to mix things up. And that's when I'm super removed from Overwatch. But the second I jump in for a little bit, I have such a good time. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, this game is still great.
Yeah.
And so I kind of swing back and forth with that one. I'm not sure. But I like Ash.
Ash rules. Hot take question for you guys.
Yeah.
Would you want them to do, because I know they do seasons,
right?
But it's just like, you're in a season, you get points. Would you want them to do it more Fortnite style, where each season is themed, you can earn rewards just in that season, like Battle Pass style?
I think they have like you can get like sprays per season or something like that, depending on how well you do. So like you get a custom spray, and it's like animated, what I've seen usually. Like, so that's something.
Yeah.
As far as like gear sets per season, I don't think they really do that. They usually tie it to like a different kind of event, like a holiday or something like that.
Because like the holidays of Overwatch rule. It's a reason to come back in the game, and they do cool things.
Right.
But like having specific seasonal events that tie to the lore, everyone is so hungry for Overwatch lore. I would just love it if it was like, this season, like this is going down, like so-and-so is attacking so-and-so. We're going to dress up these maps a little bit to kind of reflect that. And like, and then it has this living, breathing quality of like, we're hopping in, during these seasons. It's a reason to play during that time.
Huber, I totally sympathize with you because I'm not a super competitive player except for rare occasions.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember slipping into Overwatch and being like, cool, when I level up, I'll get a box. I'll open that box. It'll probably be trash, and then I'll move on with my life.
Yeah.
So having, I guess, like something to chase after from a casual perspective that felt a little bit less linear and more exciting, and just a little bit more like, do this cool thing that may make you think about the game a certain way.
And just
obviously that's vague, but I think there is room for experimentation there.
Totally. For me, it's just the storytelling. It's like, let's tell a story in these seasons. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we get some quips between characters once in a while, but
right.
You have awesome canvas.
Yeah, I just think they prefer just storytelling through like a movie or like a clip or something. Because as far as I'm aware, Fortnite doesn't do anything like that, right?
Just like like they'll have like a cinematic when a new season hits, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Overwatch though, still kicking.
Do you want like a cube on a map somewhere?
No,
and
no.
everyone's just like, what's in the cube?
What's in the cube?
And it's just like NFL or something like that.
Oh my
You just
god.
open the cube and it's just Jeff Kaplan rendered in game.
That'd be sick.
That
Jeff
would be
Kaplan skin, yeah.
No,
yeah.
just something Overwatch style, like go to the
just kidding.
moon and like, you know,
There's a moon map.
Some experiments are going down, or like someone's pulling off a heist, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
It's okay to express wants.
You can
Uh,
rib me for my Overwatch or my Fortnite love.
Let's talk about. Let's briefly talk about Orphea from Here's the Storm.
Right.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first original character?
Yeah, daughter of the Raven Lord, I believe.
Who's like the narrator from Heroes that
See,
I remember?
dude, throwing that lore
Well, there's
into
different.
the game.
There's different.
of the Raven
Yeah,
Lord
yeah,
map.
yeah.
That's
Yep,
right.
yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So I played as her, and kind of a similar sensation to what I described with Overwatch. I was like, man, every time I play Here's the Storm, I have a good time. Why don't I play this game more? And just like feeling frustration at myself.
Yeah.
And then once again, that overwhelming sensation of how much there's to play. But I think Orphea is really well designed.
Totally.
I think she's got a lot of nuance and depth to her, but in a way that is really easy to understand. Like just her Q ability, it's just a line that shoots out, but it's like if I get them at the end, I do more damage.
and you
just,
can like dash or whatever, and
Right.
using that dash forward, you could use it back too.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
And you have this like this E ability where you kind of send out this long projectile, but you can level it up with talents where you get the W close range ability if you use it. And just that feeling of quick progression, getting in there, getting kills, having it be easy to understand. I love like her kind of Venom
The darkness.
vibe that she has, the darkness
yeah.
vibe that she has. I think she fits into the cast pretty well. I like that Here's the Storm is kind of branching out in a way that feels a little bit different than what it's done in the past. I encourage that. Yeah, I don't know
Very
what
cool.
else to say
Original
about
character.
Orphea.
It's
Yeah.
just a super good, feel good moment. You know,
Right.
Heroes of the Storm has, I think, defied expectations. And, you know, I just love that they made their own new character.
Sure.
Random Huber syndrome. I think of like Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy for when the third movie was coming out. I was like, I hope he makes like
His own villain.
his own villain because he's earned the right to do so. You know,
Sure.
If for the next character that they announced with Heroes of Storm, would you want them to just be like, okay, we're just going to do a slew of original characters and then we'll get back to classic Blizzard
I think you
characters?
should mix them up.
Yeah.
Do
I
like
was yeah.
original, familiar, go back and forth or whatever, or close to each other, so it doesn't feel like a huge gap between either of them.
Yeah. Are there any characters that you would still want to see in Heroes of the Storm?
I don't even know.
Sarafang.
I don't know who's in it anymore.
Sarafang,
Sarafang, sure.
get him in there. It's time.
This kind of sounds like a joke, but
One zombie.
I kind of just
be
want
sick.
Chris Metzen in the game.
Me too.
Yeah, like put him in. Honestly,
not?
Why not?
Why not?
What about partnerships?
Oh,
Square Enix.
Weren't we joking about that?
I think we
already?
were joking.
Do you want
I
any
think we
Square
made this
Enix?
joke.
Do you want any Square Enix heroes?
Sure,
in
why
Heroes
the
of
hell
Storm?
not? It's already off the rails.
If we do Square Enix heroes, I want like a super non-obvious hero.
Like Rico, just cause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Just like
you get the grappling.
yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
You can, like-
Rico from Just Cause.
You can like throw a tornado. Just whoosh.
What if it's like
That's your ultimate.
Yeah.
And then so it's this ultimate there where the tornado takes up like an ungodly amount of the map. You only get to use it once, and it's there the rest of the time.
Yes.
There you go.
yeah, like Adam Jensen or something like that?
Yeah.
You're like, this is
dude.
weird, but all right.
Yes.
It doesn't fit in this at all.
Blades.
The last thing to talk about is Hearthstone, and this one is a little bit frustrating for me. We're still in the early days of the expansion, but at BlizzCon they had this tavern brawl that you could do, and I did it once, but I felt like just kind of with the nature of me drawing cards and paying more attention to the rules of the tavern brawl, I didn't really get to see a lot of new cards, and because I didn't get to see a lot of new cards, I didn't really get to play with them, so it's hard to be like, hey man, I think these new cards are awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you guys have some impressions, by all means.
There were the totems. Each player had the totem. Did you do the 1v1?
Yeah, the where you versus another player.
Yeah, and it's the warlock and the paladin, right?
I don't remember if it's a warlock, but yeah, where you have the things that are on the board and you have to deal with them.
Okay, yeah, same thing. Perfect. Yeah, I liked that I like that you can attack the totems or the powers. Like each player has their powerful artifact on the board. And I like that you can destroy that and then it'll come back in a few turns. So just the strategy of like, do I take out his minions? Do I hit the face?
Yeah.
Do I try to take this out? Do I pump up my artifact more even though it's a bigger target?
Right.
So
you like the design of the Tavern Brawl itself?
yeah, I liked that. It's so hard to speak to the power of the new cards without,
we have
getting some matches under our belt.
I will say, just personally, that the troll theme of the expansion is a lot more exciting to me than the Boomsday Project.
Sure.
With the Boomsday Project, which admittedly is an expansion I did not participate in, I just kind of got this overwhelming sensation of like mechs. Like we did that, we did Goblins versus Gnome. That was a big, important first expansion, first big expansion, not adventure, for Hearthstone, and it just wasn't aesthetically very interesting to me. But Trolls, I love it when Hearthstone leans into the Warcraftness of
Yes.
it.
This feels directly like it's leaning into Battle for Azeroth.
Well, yeah.
All about the Loa.
From Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah.
All
So,
that is from.
so the fact that it's tying more into that
Yeah.
and being current relevant is awesome.
Yeah, and I love when Hearthstone does its own wacky fun thing too, but the fun wacky way in which it connects to Hearthstone, I think, is part of the reason it can be so enjoyable. And I love the idea of spirits and Loas.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, and how those things can interact with each other. And I love the mechanic of overkill.
Yeah.
Like,
Forgot about this. I knew there was something I loved. Yes.
So for those of you who don't play Hearthstone and you're not familiar with this mechanic, overkill is like something will do a set amount of damage. And I apologize if I sound all messed up. I have a cold. If you do more damage than what it says on the card to kill the thing, so let's say you have 5 damage and the thing has 3 health, and you use it, you will overkill it. You'll do more than you need to, and then you get a reward for overkilling it. And they showed a weapon where you could just keep attacking the more that you overkill things. And I think just from a design perspective, using this giant blade, just keep whacking at things,
so cool.
Sounds fun on just a very raw level. And I think that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited.
Definitely.
So, cautiously optimistic for that.
Yep.
Any closing thoughts on BlizzCon?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this. Classic WoW.
Classic.
Oh, How could I forget
Yes.
Classic
We didn't talk about
WoW?
Classic
Save the
WoW.
best
How
for
could I forget
last.
Classic WoW, yeah. We all play Classic WoW.
Hell yeah.
Boy, that sure is
Holy
Classic WoW.
Oh, it's a
Crap.
classic.
Holy crap,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
Like,
classic.
so many things that
Wow.
I've forgotten. Just the text crawl on the
When you get a
quest.
quest,
It's like,
yeah.
whoa.
Forcing you to read the quest. I think the best
I
part.
think you can turn it off, but
the best,
I didn't.
The best was I'm getting these quests, and I'm at BlizzCon. You're at an event. You're like you're rushing along a little bit.
Sure.
So I'm getting these quests, and they're like, all right, I'm gonna go do these quests. There's no quest markers.
Yeah.
There's no task bar of like you got to get 5 of these. It's like no, dude.
You gotta read it.
You gotta read it. You gotta find it.
Go northeast of Durotar.
Yes.
That spawn
very
rate,
cool.
dude, on some of those mobs.
Kill like 20 of those boar or the bird things.
Yeah.
And just like how wide and flat the Barrens is, and it's
Yeah.
like, listen, man, you're walking.
Yeah,
You're walking everywhere.
a while.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to commit
I'm hitting level cap, baby.
to the level 60 grind.
I would really like to try to hit level cap.
But the best thing about it for me is just how meaningful and valuable the loot is, and how much everything matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I feel like,
like getting your mount
Yes.
really matters.
I feel like WoW took a dip with flying mounts. It made
Sure.
everything less impersonal.
Yeah.
It made it more of a checklist, like fly, get. You're just so grounded. Everything is so slow paced. Like it just makes everything matter more. And it's just awesome to see a little slice of history. World of Warcraft. So
yeah, if you didn't play it originally, you could see what kicked it all off.
Yeah.
And probably be like, wow, this game sucks compared to what people have been playing recently.
So I played some Battle for Azeroth over the weekend. BlizzCon hype got to me. I started my journey to level 120, and I'm enjoying it. This isn't really a knock against Battle for Azeroth, but like I'm going and I'm doing these quests, and it's like, okay, here comes this mob, just gonna AoE him to death. Like in WoW Classic, just in this demo, I kind of had that mentality going in, and it's like, no, I'm dying. Like 2 things are destroying me.
Combat was way slower than I remembered it too.
Way slower.
Way slower.
No charge during combat.
Yeah, you can't charge during combat.
No charge during combat.
Yeah,
it
it hurts.
But then I rented it, and it felt good.
Yeah, getting rend in. Yeah, I played Rogue and I stealthed, and I was like, whoa, I'm really slow. I forgot about this. It used to be so slow stealthing. Awesome. But yeah, felt
Is
good.
that 2019 also?
Yeah,
Summer
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got a window.
So you can go from Warcraft 3 to WoW Classic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Transition.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, dude.
As I felt in the demos, I'm sure I'll feel like when the full thing comes out. The problem is I don't want to play too much of the demo because like WoW Classic is such an investment. Like everything takes forever.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to play a lot of this demo and then get to the main game and be burned out already. I kind of want to save a lot of that enthusiasm.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't wait to run like Skolomance or something crazy like that.
What's Harad's shoulder?
That's
Scarlet Monastery, dude.
Armory, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was playing it. Saw a comment. Need tank for Wailing Caverns. It's just like this. It's back, dude.
Yeah, it's
I
back.
don't know if somebody was joking or if this was a later player that was like just trying out the WoW Classic demo, but they were like, how do I get flying? And just like immediately there were just multiple LOLs.
I think they were memeing.
Yeah, I think they were memeing. Still very funny.
So good.
But beyond the obvious blast of nostalgia, I just want to echo what I think you were saying. Like, I do kind of feel like this is more than just a nice, warm, put on the rose-tinted glasses for a little bit. Like, there were things about original WoW that kind of like effort that it took that I still think matter today, and I still think will be kind of a pleasure to chase after in a way that you cannot quite get in modern WoW.
Right.
And I think that'll be really
Like,
cool.
I encourage everyone watching, and I encourage you to, because you better be there. I'll be there.
What for classic?
Classic WoW, Day 0.
Immediately level up. Meet at Terran Mill. Meet at Terran Mill.
Die at Terran Mill.
Die at Terran Mill.
Are you
Let's
kidding me, dude?
go.
When I
Let's
get my
go,
mount,
everyone.
I'm going straight to Red Ridge, and I'm 2-shot in Alliance. 1-shot him for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Until they call in the artillery and kill me to oblivion. That's
So
what always
ready.
happens. It's the best. I'm going in there in.
Red Ridge,
Yeah.
dude.
Contested territory at that time, dude. Bloodbath. It's gonna be sick.
Love it. Love it. I'm ready for that, dude.
It's gonna be sick. I know there are plenty of times where I'm gonna let out a sigh where like I'm going to do a quest and like somebody tags something at just the last moment. I'm just
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
because that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like now when it's like, hey, go get 10 teeth or whatever the hell it is. Like
Yeah.
you kill the things, you get the 10 teeth. Not how it works in Classic WoW. You kill something, maybe if it's feeling generous, it might give you a tooth.
What was amazing though is, dude, I was doing the quest and there was another person there, and I just invited him. He joined up.
Yeah,
Jolly.
you have to
So
do that.
jolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it forces that
In WoW,
cooperation.
you don't have to now. You can just
Yeah.
tag the same thing pretty much, but yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Like party up,
Love that stuff.
communicate. Yeah,
We gotta make this happen. We need to make this an event.
we're doing Molten Core.
Yeah.
We're getting 37
I'm tanking
other people.
Rag, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
Skipper's
go.
tanking it. Let's go. I'm getting Brutality Blade, Corehound Tooth. It's gonna be sick.
I feel like that's a good note to end the BlizzCon discussion on. I was already excited.
Yeah.
Now I'm more excited. Thank you for the impressions, Bradley Ellis, Michael Huber. We'll be around next year, all three of us doing more BlizzCon impressions. 2019. Be there. Classic WoW. Terran Mill. Get ready to die.
Get ready to die.